Hi, my name is Jocelyn Neal, and this is a complete walkthrough of the sight singing questions for the AP Music Theory exam. Today, I will give a complete description of the sight singing questions. I will talk about how the exam logistics work. I will talk about what you should and shouldn't do on the exam, and then we will practice a complete exam together. So here are the basics. This is considered Section 2, Part B of the AP Music Theory exam. For these sight singing questions, you will receive 2 printed melodies, which you will sing. These are known as sight singing 1 and sight singing 2, or sometimes we call them SS1 and SS2. And they are part of the free response questions section of the exam. One student at a time will go into a room with the proctor. You will listen to the instructions, which will be played for you on a CD player. You will then sing your melodies. You will be recorded usually on an iPad, although it could also be on a Chromebook or on some other digital recorder. You should ask your teacher what recording device your school will be using and ask if you can practice on it ahead of time. Most schools use the College Board's DAC app, and that stands for the Digital Audio Capture app. You will have to pause and restart the recording app yourself when you take the exam, according to the instructions that you will hear on the CD. Now let's talk about the actual melodies. Each melody is typically 4 bars long. One of the 2 melodies will be in major and one will usually be in minor. One will be in the treble clef, one will be in the bass clef. One is typically in 4/4 and one is typically in 6/8. Now a few of the melodies in the past have also been in 3/4, in which case they were 8 bars long. SS1, or sight singing 1, is usually slightly easier and diatonic. The only chromatic alterations in SS1 will be scale degrees 6 and 7 in minor, and that would be to accommodate melodic minor. Sight singing 2, or SS2, is slightly harder. You can expect to find more leaps, more complicated rhythms, and usually just more notes. Sight singing 2 also contains an additional chromatically altered pitch. So let's talk about what chromatic alterations you might encounter in sight singing 2. If you think about a basic major scale, you could conceive of this as a scale degree ladder. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The chromatically altered pitches you might encounter in your AP curriculum would involve raised scale degrees 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6, or lowered scale degree 7. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, li, ti, do, or do, te, la. On the sight singing 2 questions, you are most likely to encounter raised scale degrees 1, 4, or 5. So that would be do, di, re, or do, re, mi, fa, fi, so, or so, si, la. Let's switch over to a minor key. In a minor key, the scale degrees that we are used to singing are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, te, le, so, fa, mi, re, do. There are 3 chromatically altered pitches beyond what we just sang that you might encounter in your AP studies. That's raised scale degrees 1, 3, and 4. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, so. And any one of those 3 could appear on your sight singing 2 melody. Now let's talk about how to sing. Sing loudly. All the melodies are marked forte. You want to sing with confidence, and you want to make sure that whoever is scoring your exam can hear you very clearly. Sing at a moderate tempo. If you sing too slowly, you will lose that metric pulse, and you could even run out of time for your response. If you sing too fast, you are most likely going to be sloppy on your rhythms and on your leaps. So sing at a nice moderate tempo. Students often ask me, how fast should I practice when I'm getting ready for this exam? So when I'm doing sight singing practice, my general preferred tempos are around a quarter note equals 72 BPM if I'm in 4/4, or an eighth note equals 90 BPM if I'm in 6/8. You may sing on solfege syllables, and any solfege system is fine. You can use movable do or fixed do. You can use la-based minor or do-based minor. Do, re, mi, fa, so. You may sing on numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can sing on note names, C, D, E, F, G. You may sing on a neutral syllable such as do or ta, do, 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 do. In fact, you may sing on any sound you want because you will only be graded on pitch and rhythm. Students often ask, can I whistle? Yes, in the past, the readers who grade the exam have allowed whistling, but it's a terrible idea because students who try this inevitably are not accurate on pitch or rhythm. So my advice to you is, seriously, don't whistle. You may pick any key that you want. You do not have to sing the melody in the printed key. Transpose it if you need to. You will be graded based on your first note as tonic. And you may sing it in any octave that you want. When we're grading the exam, sometimes we hear a student with a tenor or a bass voice and they're looking at a melody printed in the treble clef and they're trying to sing it in the printed octave. Don't do that. Sing the melody in your own vocal register. Now, when you're singing this melody on the exam, it's okay to breathe. Take a breath in the middle, but make sure that your breath does not mess up the steady metric pulse or alter the printed rhythms. Notice that there are phrase markings on the music. You may take a breath anywhere in the phrase, not just in the middle, as long as you don't alter the steady metric pulse or the rhythms. Let's talk about stuff that you don't get points for. If you just speak the solfege syllables or the note names, you don't get any credit. Saying the correct solfege or reading the note names will not get you any points. If you say do, mi, re, fa, so, la, so, re, do, that's not going to get you any points. Here's the stuff that you can get points for. You can earn a point for having a complete performance from beginning to end, so even if you mess up in the middle, keep going. You can earn a partial score for correct pitches, even if your rhythms are all wrong. You can earn a small partial score for correct rhythms, even if your pitches are all wrong. You can earn a point for the correct last note, even if you mess up the middle completely. So, commit to singing the last note no matter what. Here is my most important tip. Hold the last note for the exact notated value. Don't cut off early. Don't hold it too long. The last note should end exactly on the next downbeat. Whenever we're scoring these exams, we will hear a student who sings a terrific rendition of the melody. Their pitch is accurate, their rhythms are accurate, they get to the last note, and they cut off way too early, or they hold it out forever. Both of those mean that that student is just leaving a point on the table. So please remember, the last note should end exactly on the next downbeat. On the exam, you get time to practice. You will be given 75 seconds of practice time. And here is the procedure I recommend that you use during your 75 seconds of practice time. Number 1, say the clef out loud. Say the time signature out loud. Say the key out loud and write it on the paper. Yes, you can write on the exam paper. Number 2, scan the melody to figure out how high and how low it goes. And if it's too high or too low for you, pick a good starting note for yourself. Number 3, vocalize to establish tonic. Do, re, mi, re, do, ti, do, so, do. Number 4, sing the first 3 or 4 notes twice. Number 5, sing the last bar twice. Just jump ahead, look at the end, sing that last bar twice. Number 6, sing through the melody, marking the half bar points with your pencil. This is really important, especially in 6/8, to help you maintain a steady metric pulse and get accurate rhythms. Number 7, find any tricky spots in the melody and practice them. Write in a few rhythmic hints, like dashes or dots, to help you. Write in just a few solfege syllables or numbers to help you in those tricky spots as well. Number 8, sing through the complete melody again. And number 9, remember to breathe. When your 75 seconds of practice time is up, take a breath. You will then be given 30 seconds to perform the melody. Remember to do a complete performance from the beginning all the way to the end. Hold the last note out for the exact notated duration. Students often ask me, if you mess up, should you try again? 1 out of the 9 possible points for this question is earned by having a complete response with no hesitations or restarts. So if you sing it a second time, you are not going to be eligible for that point. And the readers who grade the exam are required to score the last complete response on your recording, even if it's not your best response. So if you totally crashed when you tried to sing it, yes, it's worth trying again. But if you did it okay and got through the whole melody, it's probably better not to try again. Now let's do a practice exam. I'm going to read the instructions that you will hear in the actual exam setting so that you're familiar with them and know exactly how this experience will go. Here are the instructions. Questions 1 and 2. Assignment. For each of the 2 given melodies, sing the pitches in accurate rhythm and with a steady tempo. Procedure. For each melody, you will have 1 minute and 15 seconds to practice and 30 seconds to perform the melody. You will hear the starting pitch for each melody at the beginning of the practice period. After the end of the practice period, you will have 30 seconds to perform the melody. A recorded announcement will alert you to the end of each practice and performance period. Directions on the recording will assist you in operating the recorder. Your performance. You may sing note names, C, D, E, syllable names, do, re, mi, scale degree numbers, 1, 2, 3, or a neutral syllable, for example, ta, ta, ta. Even though you will hear the starting pitch of the printed melody, you may transpose the melody to a key that is comfortable. You should use some of the practice time to perform out loud. You may write on the music if you wish. You may not use any device, for example, a metronome or a musical instrument, to assist you in your practice or performance. You will be evaluated on rhythmic accuracy, pitch accuracy relative to tonic, and continuity, maintaining a steady tempo. You may start over if you need to, but there will be a deduction from your score. You will not be evaluated on the quality of your singing voice. Now here's the next thing that the CD recording will say. Music Theory Exam Section 2, Part B. Before opening your booklet, be sure you are in a setting where no other students will be practicing or performing at the same time as you. Remember that you may not use a metronome or other device to assist you. If other singing voices or a device such as a metronome or instrument are heard on your recording, your score could be invalidated. Please open your booklet to question 1, the first sight singing question. Question 1. Look over the melody and begin practicing. You have 1 minute and 15 seconds to practice. This is the starting pitch of the printed melody. Now I'm going to start working while the announcer is saying that last little bit of instructions here. So I'm going to look at my melody and here we go. Treble clef, 4-4, D minor. I'm going to write that on my paper. I'm going to look at the melody, see how high it goes, how low it goes, and pick my own tonic. Here's my tonic, do. And we're going to begin our practice time now. Do, ti, do, repeat. Do, ti, do, ending. Fa, me, re, do, repeat. Fa, me, re, do. Whole melody. Do, ti, do, me, fa, so, me, re, so, la, ti, do, so, le, fa, me, re, do. I'm looking for tricky spots, such as this one at the end of measure 3. Do, so, le, fa, me, re. I'm going to write in just a few syllables. I'm also going to keep track of my rhythm in measure 2. Re, so, long and short. And I have time to sing the whole melody again. Do, ti, do, me, fa, so, me, re, so, la, ti, do, so, le, fa, me, re, do. I will then hear the CD recorder say, the practice time for the first melody is over. You will have 30 seconds to perform the melody. Press the pause button to resume the recording and begin your performance now. Do, ti, do, me, fa, sol, me, re, sol, la, ti, do, sol, le, fa, me, re, do. At the end of the 30 seconds, I will hear the announcer voice say, "The performance time for the first melody is over. Press the pause button now to pause the recording." Question 2. Look over the melody and begin practicing. You have 1 minute and 15 seconds to practice. This is the starting pitch of the printed melody. And while the announcer is saying that, I'm going to begin working. Here we go. Bass clef, 6/8, A major. I'm looking at the melody, the highs and the lows. I'm picking a note that works for me. Do. And I'm beginning. Do, mi, so, fa. Repeat. Do, mi, so, fa. Ending. Re, fa, ti, do. Re, fa, ti, do. Whole melody. Do, mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi, la, so, fi, so, la, ti, do, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi, re, fa, ti, do. I'm going to remind myself to breathe in the middle, and I'm going to work on the hard spots. Measure 3. Do, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi. And I'm going to work on the tricky spot with the chromatically altered pitch in measure 2. Mi, la, so, fi, so. Mark the rhythm in measure 1. Fa, mi, re. Whole melody. Do, mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi, la, so, fi, so. La, ti, do, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi, re, fa, ti, do. The voice on the CD will now say, "The practice time for the second melody is over. You will have 30 seconds to perform the melody. Press the pause button to resume the recording and begin your performance now." Do, mi, so, fa, mi, re, mi, la, so, fi, so, la, ti, do, so, mi, la, so, fa, mi, re, fa, ti, do. The performance time for the second melody is over. Press the stop button now to stop the recording. End of section 2, part B. Okay, so that's a complete walkthrough of the sight singing questions for the AP Music Theory exam. Thanks for watching and good luck on the test.